Poor access to timely information has been highlighted as one of the biggest obstacles facing business owners from townships. This is believed to hinder them from market and financial opportunities. Our business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo is covering the inaugural Township Economy Conference and Expo, and she joins us now for the latest coming out of that Expo. A lot has been said about reinvigorating or formalizing the township economy, Ntokozo, if you will. And so how have business owners from the township responded to this Expo?
Good afternoon, Dudu. Well, I was just telling my guests now that one of the big surprises coming to the Expo is really seeing how diversified township economy businesses are. We are seeing businesses that are manufacturing, businesses that are offering services, businesses in the automotive industry. So that's encouraging. And what enterprises that I've been speaking to are saying is that access to information is not just about them actually formalizing their businesses, but it's also about them being able to scale and network and work with other business owners as they continue on their growth trajectory. And for a little bit more, I am now joined by Toby Chance, who is the head of enterprises at CoSpace and focusing on the Entrepreneur Village. Talk us through a little bit on that project, the Entrepreneur Village, where you are based and what impact you are trying to make specifically with entrepreneurs from townships.
Thanks very much, Ntokozo. So CoSpace Entrepreneur Village operates 3 entrepreneur villages in Gauteng, in Midrand, Kaya Sands and Pretoria East. And we provide workspaces for small businesses to operate from in a variety of sizes, starting from a garage size, 18 square meters, up to 36, 42, 36 square meters. And the particular thing about them is that they're suitable for businesses that are making things, particularly. So artisans, car mechanics, florists, gin makers, you name it. And because they're rented on a month-to-month basis, there's no need to enter into a long-term lease. You literally can come, pay your deposit, your first month's rent, and you're up and running. And so the village concept is mainly aimed at businesses that are just emerging, particularly from the home environment, that are wanting to scale up. But most importantly, they need a fixed business premises to work from. And that's particularly relevant to township businesses where there's very little commercial or industrial zoning.
And those hubs that you spoke about, they do service communities such as Cosmo out in Randburg and Mamelodi out in Pretoria. Talk us through how that also, an entrepreneur being part of that village, actually helps close that gap of access to information, which obviously then is important to access markets and finance.
Well, we have about 600 businesses operating from our villages, and so that immediately creates a network effect of information between the villages and between the tenants in the villages. And at each village we provide a range of entrepreneur support services which enables these businesses to get access to the sort of services you were referring to earlier, finance, markets, information, and that's the crucial thing which the scale of the village really creates, which is very difficult to find elsewhere.
And Toby, you've been in this space working with small businesses, helping them scale for well over 2 decades. Yes. Talk us through some of the trends that you've seen over time, specifically around township economies, and where you see township economies going over the next couple of years, and the kind of contribution that they can make to not only creating jobs, but growing the South African economy.
When I started working in the township economy nearly 20 years ago, the focus was very much on the micro businesses and the retail sector. And you saw the emergence of huge malls in the townships. But now the emphasis is much more on value-added services and manufacturing, and producing products and services in the township that can be then consumed by township residents as well as exported into neighboring markets, which increases the multiplier effect of businesses that are able to generate real revenue. And I think that's important because the Gauteng government has idealized the concept of local manufacture to support businesses that are making things in the townships, to supply government as well as the private sector. And we are involved with them to bring some of those businesses into the township environment of co-space to provide them with access to space that they can operate from and make their products more effectively.
And Toby, just walking around the Expo and attending the conference, speaking to some of these business owners, and they say that their obstacles, yes, the access to finance and markets are right at the top there, but some of the challenges that they're dealing with, specifically working in the township market, is just the weight that they carry as agents of change to be able to create employment in their communities and so on. Do you need that? We also need to kind of start zoning into those kind of issues that are facing entrepreneurs in markets such as township and rural.
Well, one of the things that township businesses face is a real problem of finding somewhere to operate from, which is secure, where they can operate 24 hours a day, which is connected to transport links, which has access to proper infrastructure and services. And I think that as the townships develop and more infrastructure is provided, those sorts of challenges are going to be overcome, which will allow these businesses to scale. You know, most of the businesses in the township employ 1 or 2 people, maybe 5 or 6 people, but some of our entrepreneurs employ 25 people, and they're then starting to expand into regions which enables them to grow. So I really think that it's time that we stop talking about the township economy as being separate from the main economy. We're talking about the main economy, which includes the township businesses, and that's really the source of job creation for South Africa in the future.
Toby, thank you so much for talking to us. Of course, that was Toby Chance with Co-Space. He is the head of enterprise development, focusing on entrepreneur villages, and saying that there are 3 hubs in Gauteng, and of course looking to scale so that small business owners from the township can actually have somewhere where they call home, and be able to network with other entrepreneurs, share information so that they can scale their businesses and have access to both finance and markets. Sessions are still ongoing. I am going to speak to a lot more entrepreneurs, so I will be updating throughout the day, but it is back to you in studio now, Dudu.
Thank you very much, Ntokozo Khumalo, for that report.